Are you ready?
Rita, hold on, damn this thing. Testing. Rita, can you hear me? Hold on. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Hold on a second. We're about to go.
Is this live? Is that how this works?
Yeah. So it's gonna just show me on my end, or actually I might just turn the camera so you can just see the computer while we're doing this.
You can show me your close-up, Ian. That's cool.
Do you see that? I didn't even shave this morning. I look like crap.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go to the restroom real quick.
Good morning, Natalie. Can she hear me?
Can I go to the restroom?
Yeah, she can hear you.
Huh?
Good morning, my dear.
Rita's saying good morning to you.
Oh, hi.
We have to work on our background here because we're trying to get a studio for the podcast, like an actual built studio in the backyard, like a she shed for Natalie. So
Very nice.
Everything you see here is just in construction. So, but that's the way it's going to be till we get it moved out. So I figured it'd be okay for now. So.
So then, do I get to see you guys too, or no? Like, how does this work?
Can you see me now on camera?
I see your shoulder.
Oh, hold on.
There you are. I'm like, I only see a part of your appendage.
Hold on. There. Usually we do this when there's where the heck are we at? I usually turn on some lights to make us look professional when I'm doing this. Give me a second.
Oh, okay. So do you usually just do StreamYard now when you're doing your podcast?
It seems to be the best one. Really, a friend told us about it, so I was like, let me go see. Because the last time we were doing just calling by cell phone, and it worked. But she's like, oh, try this, and I'm like, I've never heard of this before. But we did our first one. I think it was last week with another guest we had on, and it turned out well because actually StreamYard actually converts it to YouTube automatically to my YouTube page, so it shows everything that we're talking about in audio, I mean, the video goes to YouTube, and then the audio is recorded simultaneously on my software here. So it's the exact same episode. Everything that we say is going to be video and audio at the exact same time.
Okay, so are we actually live, like, on your Facebook page?
No. We're just live, like the recording's live. Nothing is live until I put it up on
so you have the option to do that.
Yeah. This is just record. When it says live, it's recording live. That's what that means. Like if someone else would call into the stream that we're doing, then they'd be live on the actual recording. That's what that means.
Gotcha.
Like we're not recording to the world or anything like that.
Okay, I'm like, all right, so
because my face is not ready. I haven't shaved. I just started this new job.
Congratulations.
He gets up and just looks all fresh and vibrant.
Yes, you always look fresh and vibrant. How do you do it every day? Oh my God.
Well dressed and looking good. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I barely got out of bed and put sweatpants on to go walk. So I went walking.
Listen to you. Thank you guys. That's nice of you.
You went walking this morning?
I did walk. I did 20 minutes before my 9 o'clock meeting.
How come you didn't take me for a walk?
Because I ain't got time to mess with you. I have things to do. I have a lot of
Natalie, that is awesome that you did that. Congrats. Feel good about that.
I'm trying. And can you hear me, Rita?
You're talking to the mic. I can't hear you.
Well, I am.
The mic's turned.
What's wrong with it?
Turn it.
Where? No, it's not. It's not it. It's something else.
I turned it off. That's
I was about to say it's not the problem.
Try it now.
Okay. Kind of here. Kind of. Hello. Right there. I think that's better, but not good. That's better.
Oh, I know why. I have it plugged into the wrong place.
Sorry. Oh, of course you do. Thanks, Ian. Now it's on.
There.
See?
I had the wrong mic plugged in.
Like, I know.
I switched mics by accident.
Man, I might need some of your technical assistance when I launch my podcast.
Oh yes, he'd be happy to help you out.
All right.
I'm pimping him out.
I like how Natalie pimps me out. Doesn't even get my buy-in. Come on, Natalie.
Dog just dumped in my lap out of nowhere. I don't know why he thought I wanted him in my lap.
The dog, Kingsley?
Yes, he did. Yes, he just jumped in my lap like out of nowhere.
I think that's his happy place.
Happy for
And
anyone touching him anywhere. He just wants to be touched.
And he's like a therapy dog for you, so it's win-win, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, where's the?
Now I can see you guys. Now I can see your face.
Well, you can see Ian. Don't look at me.
Your pearly whites, Ian. I like
I
it.
just went to the dentist yesterday too. I'm ready to go.
Look at him, Natalie. He's like, see my teeth.
You need to turn that angle that a little bit better.
But I can't see Natalie.
That's okay. No need to see.
Natalie's over there trying to hide. See,
Natalie.
I don't know why she's tripping, man.
Why you tripping?
I don't look all done like you, Rita.
Oh God, tell her to.
Why are you in here with a knife? This kid's got like a big old, like a killer knife in here.
Maybe you could talk to him because he's got.
I'm like, what does he have a knife in here for? I don't know what he was cutting. He ran when I asked.
Noah, we're recording. You can't be in here, Noah. Please.
Why do you,
Noah.
What do you need?
Noah, please. We're recording.
I'm coming with you.
No.
No, you're not.
Hi, Noah.
Please get your work done. Please go get your work done.
Let's try this
every assignment uploaded
today. I love this.
So you can go on the field trip.
I love this.
This is good stuff.
All right, I'll put the camera on me because Natalie's embarrassed. So.
I am.
Why? Don't be. This is the embodiment of the family mess.
But I told her that people want to see us normal, like crazy.
But I don't want to always look a mess.
No,
I don't always look a mess.
No, people don't want to see perfection because that's not real life. People want to see how you are every day. That's what the majority of
on camera broke down.
Rita, tell her I'm right because usually I'm wrong.
I've been to the eyebrow lady.
I think
Mom doesn't want in the middle.
Mom, you just get your hair done.
I hear you, Rita. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think, though, that is the allure of your podcast. The embodiment of it is the family mess because you don't want to show the perfection. Like, people want to see the day-to-day.
Tell her, Rita.
They want to see where you're at. They want to see how you overcome it. People like real. So, yeah, I like it. I think that's what sets you guys apart from these other polished, boring
Tell her,
podcasts.
Rita. Tell her again because she doesn't believe me. I don't know what her deal is. Come on, Natalie. You can do this.
You sound like a hype man. Come on, tell her.
I have to try to get her to stay. Come on, stay with it. Be positive. Let's do this.
We're trying.
That's interesting. Be positive.
Well, that's what we're talking about today, right?
We're trying not to yell at our kids anymore and be more positive for them because.
You guys are
Can you go get your work done? The damage is already done.
You see it? We're not trying to yell anymore. We're trying just to talk to them and just.
Ooh, we should have an episode where
Noah. Is that Noah? No, that's Sam. No, wait.
That's Noah.
That's Noah. No, I was thinking of how Natalie told me to remember. N comes before S. Noah. Is he still there?
He's at the Noah. Now Rita's talking to you. Now he's still at the door. Rita is now talking to you because you wouldn't leave.
About what?
I don't know. Listen to what she's saying.
Hi, Noah. Good morning.
Can you hear her?
Oh, you can.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, he said hi. She said hi. Good morning.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. Is it that
he's quick to come get headphones? He can hear you now.
I can't.
Okay. You can hear me now?
I hear some hi.
Hi.
Can I hear it?
I can hear you.
He can hear you.
Which one is it?
Doesn't matter. She can hear you.
Any mic.
Just talk, Noah.
This one?
Doesn't matter. She can hear you.
So Noah, I'm just curious. So your parents told you that they're in the middle of recording. Is recording something you want to be a part of? Is that why you're popping in and trying to be involved?
I don't know.
Yeah. Is it something you may want to get on a podcast and maybe do some family time with them on there? Is that interesting?
No.
No?
I just...
Is it that you just want to spend some more time with your mom and dad, or you like getting a reaction out of them?
Well, they don't do anything with me. They don't play video games. They don't do anything.
Oh, okay.
What do you want us to do with you?
You guys just work so much.
This is interesting.
You're hearing a different side of this. No,
it's his truth. It's his truth. We don't.
It is his truth. This is his perception. So that now that you know that and you hear it from his words, maybe you can figure out something that
Rita,
makes sense.
what are you
for
doing?
both of you.
Don't say that so he can hear you.
I asked you to play something with me last time. You said yes. You didn't play with me at all.
Noah. But the thing is, you don't follow directions.
Yeah, but you don't play though.
No.
You never play.
You don't follow
We
directions.
should do a family therapist session.
I would if you tried playing with
Ian,
me for
Ian,
once.
if I may, it may not be so much about actually playing the game and following the rules as much as you just spending time with him with something he enjoys doing.
Oh, I know. I do it with Samuel because Samuel, I just sit there and just sit there. I don't do nothing. It's just time. Do it
with him is what they say.
Because he angers me and he doesn't
that's
follow
play with my friends
directions. He does not. All you have to do is follow. Rita, we're not going to record this. I'm going to stop. I'm not recording this.
Okay. No problem. It just may be interesting to kind of delve into, Ian, like, why does it anger you so much if he doesn't follow directions?
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
You don't play.
But why? Why does it anger you so much though?
Well, for me, it's just that it means he doesn't respect. He has no respect for what we've asked him to do. He doesn't care what we say.
Rita,
I do.
Rita,
forget.
you don't understand. You're seeing this part of him now, but we actually, in our household, all you have to do is we don't ask for a lot chores. You know what I'm talking about, chores.
Stuff so
right.
No, let me explain to her what the deal is. So we just ask them, make sure the dishes are done every day. Just basic, not even hard. Like when we were younger, we had to do manual labor work, right?
Right. No, I get that.
These kids have life easier. Like do your rooms, do the dishes, and clean the living room. That's it. Just make sure that's done every day, and then you can do what you want to do.
Exactly.
So when we come home, guess what? Nothing is done. There's nothing done, and they're on the game. And so we're like, guys, and so as our parents, we grow up and our parents would beat us when
we don't beat them.
Our parents would, and I don't believe in beating the kids. I don't think that works. I got beat when I was young. That just made me more angry at my parents. And it worked in a way, but it backfired in a way. You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
So we definitely don't want to do that. But we told them, you guys can't just live here and just get everything and think that's the way life is.
Completely agree.
It doesn't work that way.
They have this champagne life because when we the way we were brought up, it was completely different. And we, like in my household too, Ian, I asked my kids to do bare minimum. And so it is frustrating when they don't even do that.
Just the bare minimum is all I ask. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just general stuff to make it in. They just can't.
And you live here too. You live here. You can certainly help. That's a family goal. We talk about family goals. And so that's an area of challenge in my house, but it's a work in progress. I get it. I was just wondering, just kind of leading back to, he clearly wants to spend time with you guys. Clearly.
I've been doing dishes though, but before that faucet broke, I've been doing.
Oh God, hold on.
Yes, I've been doing them consistently.
Blair Witch.
Yes, I
very Blair Witch.
I've been doing them. I do them every single time. Once we go back from Texas, I've been doing them until the dishwasher broke, and it's harder. There's so much more, and you guys make Samuel do less, and I got so much more.
He whines every day.
It doesn't matter. There's so much.
And we're not a whining family.
I forgot.
Right.
All right, Natalie, hold on. Let me try to get this recording working.
Yeah, keep making fun of me while I'm gone.
No one's making fun of you. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh, he's so sensitive. See,
baby, nobody's making fun of you.
He says now we're angry. If you say anything to him, you're angry. You can't talk to him. He's just
so he interprets anything as because he's sensitive. He interprets it that way.
Dad. Yes, he's like Ian. I can't talk to Ian.
Did you hear that?
Ian's only recently begun to be able to accept from me talking to him without it being like I'm yelling at him. He feels like it's an argument.
Natalie, we're gonna have to use the other device to record today because I can't get this to work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
We're gonna have to just use this one today to try to get.
What is that?
It's the other software I used to record. That's all.
Are you sure you're not gonna have no problems? Because what's wrong with the other? What happened to the other one we use every time?
It's not working because I was trying to get in here this morning, but I was cooking breakfast for the kids, and so by the time I got to,
should have got up earlier.
Rita, are you listening to this woman right here?
We wasted Rita's time here. Come on, Rita.
All right, I now, Rita, tell me if you can hear this on your end. Hold on a second. Hold on. Can you hear that, Rita?
It's super low.
Is it still low?
It's very low, but I can hear you just fine.
All right, no, it's supposed to be low. So
Okay.
once we do the introduction, I'm gonna play that. You're gonna hear it a little bit, then I'll just start.
Well, how about we record for like 2 minutes or like 30 seconds and then double check that it works. I just want to make sure everything's working. So like, just
Rita, I apologize for this technical
It's
stuff.
okay.
Usually I'm ready.
even just record the just
All
record
right.
us talking real quick for like 10 seconds. And
Well,
just to make sure
it's
working
going,
properly.
so just keep talking.
We'll let Rita talk.
Go ahead and talk, Rita. Make sure I can
Tell
get
us
you
how
on this
horrible we are, Rita.
recording here.
You are not horrible. I want you to remove that from your vocabulary.
Tell
You are
her,
not
Rita. Please tell her to
horrible.
do that every day. Just tell her to think that way.
You guys are amazing. You're good parents. You have
See?
such strength.
Tell her.
And that you guys even doing a podcast, that is your way of giving back into the world. So kudos for that. Feel good about that. You're helping people.
Have you thought about that, Natalie?
No.
That is a good perspective,
I'm
Rita.
just here talking, getting stuff off my chest.
Yeah, I think I never thought about that, but
All right,
that
so
is
pause it now. See if
all
it
right.
works.
Let me see if it works. Hopefully it works. We'll see if this works.
Get this thing going.
It works.
Awesome. This is my first podcast for the year, guys. I took a break from doing them.
Oh, just
Yeah, I took
it.
Let's see what Rita sounds like.
Do you need me to talk?
No, we're listening to you. We're listening to our past conversation we just had. We're waiting for you to talk in that conversation to verify that everything's good.
Got it.
Skip ahead a few, Ian, to get to where she was talking.
Okay, I can hear her.
No, keep going. Yeah.
Do not disturb.
Okay.
Wait, no, go fast forward a little bit. That's the part. I'm trying to hear Rita, not you. Go back.
I'm talking with her at the same. Yeah.
Okay, you can hear her good.
All right,
Okay.
we're good. All right, it works.
You can delete that.
I'm not deleting it.
That's
All right.
gold.
All right, Rita. Right, it is. It's podcast gold. Tell her. Come
It's
on, Natalie.
podcast gold. You can use that as snippets. Yes.
All right, let's get this started. All right, we're gonna start in what?
Okay, well, hold on. So, Rita, we're talking about mindset again, and about the mindset challenge, right? You're talking to us about that, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Oh, what
yes.
was it? Was it a mindset or positive? What was it called exactly?
It was the Mindset Podcast.
Well, no. Let Rita tell us because she's the one who
Oh,
told
I'm just trying
that
to.
we should talk about.
It's a negativity detox challenge.
Okay.
So that is what we're going to talk about. And so, Natalie, just so I'm clear, so I'm presenting it to you guys. Is that what it is? It's not like you're my client or anything like that. Is that this is just something that you guys have accepted the challenge to do, right?
That's correct.
Maybe.
And I mean, if you mention I'm a client, I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I like to be,
We're gonna put all your credentials on the website, just like the other one. So anything that you want to give,
Hold on.
make sure that you give it to us, and we'll just post it up there. as
Wait,
usual.
hold on. We're gonna do.
Okay,
That way
sounds
you
good.
That way you get more phone calls from
Wait.
new clients.
Hold
What do
on.
you
Hold on.
see, Rita? I'm ready now. I'm
Rita,
ready to go.
Give me the exact name of your coaching company.
Rita Baksh Coaching Collective.
Okay.
That's right. That's from.
Wait, say your last name again. I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna write it how I'm gonna say it.
Phonetically, yes. Baksh. Just think of like a drum. Baksh. Baksh.
Box. Okay, I wrote
Yes.
BAK-SH. Box.
Baksh.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Sounds good, girl.
And then you said read collective coaching. You said coaching collective.
Coaching Collective. Rita Baksh Coaching Collective. Yeah.
Coaching collective. All right. And what's your email? I mean, what's your website address?
I was that girl.com.
Oh wow, that iwasthatgirl.com, is that what you said?
Yes. Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
So essentially, you know, me being a personal development coach is really to help the woman that I was. So that's why iwasthatgirl.com.
Can you help men too?
A lot of what I talk about can help men, but it's very specific towards women because I know that path specifically.
Yes, because the women have a
And you can ask her that while we're talking. You can ask her that.
okay.
No,
Because
okay.
men have a lot of issues. I think men have more issues. They just don't talk about it that much.
But you know, the difference with men though, Ian, is the way that they process and the way that they receive information. So I've helped men in the past before, and I actually mentor a few teen boys, but it is very different than how I approach it with women.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Okay.
Are you ready, Natalie?
All right. I just wanted to make sure I had that.
I'm taking an early lunch to do this.
Okay. All right. We're good. I just wanted to make sure I had basic stuff for Rita.
All right. I'm ready when you guys are.
All right, we're gonna start with the music, just like a recording.
Oh wait, negativity detox challenge. Negativity.
Every time I try to start, man, you
Hold on, I'm writing it down. Detox challenge.
This is gold. This
Rita,
is gold. I
listen,
love this.
If she would just write this stuff down on paper, right? Everything
I'm doing that right now. I should have done it before.
I told her about this podcast.
I was on the
days
phone
ago.
until 10:30.
Days
I had
ago.
a business
And she
coach
knew about
meeting.
this.
I had to meet with my business coach.
No,
All right.
there's nothing
Okay.
wrong.
Go ahead.
Are you sure you're ready?
No, but go ahead.
All right, we're about to go. Welcome to the Family Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ian, and this is my wife and co-host, Natalie. The Family Mess, the podcast about life with kids and all things adulting. Let's talk. Good morning, Natalie. How are you?
Good morning, Ian.
Why'd you take so long to respond back to me? What's up with you?
It's the morning pause. I barely eat anything. I barely had anything to drink.
Yeah, you
It's
said
out of my normal routine.
you said you went for a walk this morning. Didn't even wake me. How'd you go for a walk and didn't wake me up? We're supposed to do it together.
You were awake. You were sitting there watching the TV when I got up to go walk.
But you didn't say, Ian, let's go for a walk. You just got up and left.
I got up, I put my shoes on.
Did you hear that, Rita? She just got up and left me this morning. Oh my God.
Yes, we do have our special guest today.
All right.
We have Rita from Rita Bosch Coaching Collective.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, guys.
What's up with the applause? I couldn't even finish saying her name.
Because the audience is happy to hear Rita this morning. I don't care about you. Go ahead. I just have to use the applause button.
Oh my goodness.
Today he has to try
I got the applause button, so I'm going to use that.
I'm going to repeat myself without the applause that we have Rita Bosch. Why are you the only one laughing?
You guys are so fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. Family Mess.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead this time.
Gosh,
I'm not going to do
we have
anything.
You're so special. We have Rita. See, I can't even. Oh, goodness. Okay. I'd like to welcome Rita Bosch. See, now, Miss Bosch. There, I got it. Did I get it? I got it.
Yes.
From Rita Bosch Coaching Collective. And she is a personal development coach. And you've been on our show before. So welcome, Rita.
Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you guys inviting me back.
Yes. It's good to have you again on the show. And I'm looking forward to this podcast again.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about negativity today.
Yes.
I know I got some.
Me too.
That's okay. But anyway, Ian, we're going to go into our first segment.
Yeah, our first segment that we always do is Natalie's 5 minutes of pound. Yeah.
I don't turn that thing off.
I just found that track and I brought it in here. All right,
Okay,
Natalie, introduce the audience
That's
to
plenty of the track. 2 seconds is plenty. Wow.
So what are you going to tell the audience about your weight challenge?
All these,
Listen,
sound buttons? I don't know what the hell.
this just happened today because the other program that we used to record wasn't working, so I had to use the backup program. So don't complain.
All this sound ad-libbing. And
Rita, I'm trying to make our podcast be a little different and easier for me to do.
DJ booth or something. What is going on?
Well,
okay.
What would you like to tell the audience about your weight progression, not progression, but your success or whatever it is you're doing for your weight loss?
Well, as I took my walk this morning, I know Ian has graciously been walking with me. We walked at like 10:30 at night the other night because we're trying to walk twice a day
Wow.
to get our exercise in. So we try to walk, twice a day somehow, whether it's morning, afternoon, or both in the afternoon, but we walk.
That's great.
Yes. So as I walked this morning by myself because somebody was watching the TV instead of getting up.
She didn't even tell me she was going for a walk.
I thought to myself, I said, you know what? This has been a very uphill battle and I have fought it and I have not won yet, but I realized I'm just going to keep trying different things until something darn well sticks. That was my revelation as I walked this morning. I'm just going to keep trying whatever I can until the weight starts really falling off. Like I've lost a little bit, from where I was, because I'm at my highest, heaviest ever in my entire life. Well, except for being pregnant, I've only been this much pregnant. And I'm like, oh God, this is horrible. So I've decided, I've lost a little bit, but I haven't figured out my full plan. But my starting plan is just to eat real food. I've started there. I'm just not going to quit. I'm just going to keep trying things until it works. So right now I have been, oh shoot, you know what? I hate to start. I did an app to track my walking, and I forgot to turn the thing off. I just remembered when my walk this morning.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm using that Runkeeper app to track my miles.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Well, at least my phone should know I'm not going anywhere. So, but my time is now way off. I'm gonna fix it actually right now on my phone. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with this thing. I'm just not gonna quit. I'm just gonna keep going and just keep trying different things until I find what works for me.
That's awesome. I think that's really encouraging. Thank you for sharing that, Natalie.
Yeah.
Ian, don't you think that that's wonderful?
I do. I've been living with this woman for 20 years now, and it's always fun doing things like this with her because I like doing it with her. But the one thing I found out, it takes a lot of energy to keep her going with it. That's what it does is like we've done this. I think this is like the 12th or 15th thing we've done together, probably more as a couple. But I'm enthusiastic about doing this with her. And we'll start the journey together. And there are mornings where I'll get up to go and she's like, I'm not doing it today. And I'm like, come on, we got to do this. We got to do this and get it done. So I'm going to be there to support her through this with her. And I hope she'll get the results that she wants. I think she will if she just stays consistent.
Yeah,
I think
0.91 miles in 2 hours and 22 minutes today.
It took you 2 hours to walk a mile.
I forgot to
the phone messed up. Okay. I got you.
Okay. I had to do a quick walk before I had a meeting this morning, so I didn't get to do my full. We'll walk again later.
Well, I think it's great, Natalie, that what you said just now, that you're going to keep trying because something's working. You're going to keep at it, and you're not going to give up this time. So I commend you for that. That's really good and encouraging to your listeners as well who struggle. It's hard to stay motivated to get up and get out and do physical exercise and move your body. So I think that's really positive.
Do you think people listen to us, Natalie? Sometimes I don't. I think they don't.
Listen how?
The podcast. I mean, we put it out there, but
what's that got to do with what we talking about?
I don't know, but Rita just said people probably listening, but do you think people listen?
Somebody listen, they download it.
Yeah, well,
you reach one person.
Thank you, everybody out there supporting us.
1,500 or this doesn't take. It takes one to change one life.
Oh yes, whoever that one is, listen. Give us a chance.
Give a thumbs up. Give a like. Let them know.
Yes, a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe. Let's do this.
I don't know.
Let's do this. Leave a review. Because quite honestly, yes, because you guys are taking the time to do the podcast, right? I'm sure it's therapeutic for you because you get all of the stuff that's in here out into the world and in hopes that it's going to help somebody. And like Natalie said, even if it helps just one person, I feel like you've put some high energy and positive vibes back into the world. So
yeah,
I don't know about those positive vibes.
Be positive, man. Come on, she just told you that. Come on.
Rita told me the other day that I have a little bit of negativity. So that's what we're going to talk about today. the negativity is trying to take over for the positive vibe and positive side of it. So that's what we're going to talk about negativity detox, and a challenge. She challenged us actually recently about.
I did.
So Rita, what's up with this negativity thing? Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad to be so negative? When that's the start, as you told me, it was like more of our natural way to be.
Right, exactly. You and I had a really great conversation about this the other day. And so you thought it was important for your listeners to also hear about this, right? So what it's called is the negativity bias. Are you guys familiar with that, or were you familiar with it before?
No.
I've never heard of it.
So the negativity bias, in simple terms and a simple definition, just really means that you pay more attention and give more weight to something that's negative versus something that's positive. And so why this happens, it really dates back to like the caveman days. So when you think of like the most primitive times, right? You have a caveman that wants to eat. Maybe they see some berries on a tree or something, and they're like, okay, let me feed my hunger. But then they hear something rustling in the bushes. It could be a tiger. It could be another caveman. It could be danger. So what do? Instantly, they're going to focus more on the danger because that's a survival instinct.
Gotcha.
So, right. So now we've evolved, and now we're here, fast forward. And through evolution, we still have that primitive side of our brain that basically seeks pleasure and avoids pain. And as humans, anything that's painful is negative, right? Because we want to protect ourselves. So our brains are on constant high alert. That's why, Natalie, when you and I were talking, and I was saying that a lot of times negative stories, negative conversations, that stimulates us more. And it's because of our primitive brain. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Because, right, people love scandal. People love negative news. People
drama. It's called drama.
Drama, yes. So, but think about this, right? Like the last time you were in a review with your boss, right? So maybe you're going through your annual review and he told you 7 or 10 things that were great about yourself. But one thing he or she said, that was an area of improvement for you, or you perceived it as negative, what did you focus on for the rest of the day?
The negative.
I can't believe they said that about me.
But we can't be perfect. But the thing is, I guess people think they want to be perfect all the time, but that's not how you improve as a person.
Yeah, but it just hurts to hear something bad about yourself sometimes.
I guess some people are more sensitive than others, Rita, I think, when they hear feedback. Is that what it is? Constructive feedback?
Constructive criticism, sure.
Criticism, I'm sorry, yeah.
But the point, right, is that you're focusing more on the negative. So it's not like the whole conversation was negative. You just got 10 things complimented to you, but you focus one on the negative. Or if you're in a relationship, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, right? And they always tell you, I love you, I support you, da 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 da. And then one thing they talk about, well, why didn't you do the laundry, or the food was cold, or you didn't cook.
Oh, that sounds like my house.
You're going to focus on the negative.
That's Ian. That is Ian Beeson right
there. That sounds like our house every day.
Elaborate. What do you mean? Give me an example.
Go ahead, Natalie, because I know you're going to take this one on home. Go ahead.
I forgot what was it. It was just yesterday. I said something to him, and he just gets all bent out of shape about it. I'm like, oh, please don't do XYZ.
She doesn't say please, Rita. Don't listen to her. She just, it's her tone, man. I'm telling you, her tone drives me insane.
I have a tone that I don't know. I don't hear it, and so I have.
But I keep telling her, I'm like, that's how people react to her in her way. People her look as a strong person. It's because she gives off this strong aura about her, and people respect that about her. I told her, I'm like, people don't mess with you, man, because she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, people think you're serious. That's why they act, they act towards you a certain way. Well, that's not true. I'm like, yes, it is, because I live with you, so I see it. And I'm trying to tell her, I'm trying to let her be more aware how she talks on the phone, because she gets riled up and she doesn't even notice it sometimes. She just, that's her. And I was like, Natalie, you might want to tone it down, whatever. And she's like, no, I don't talk like that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm with you every day. I know exactly what you do, so you might not notice it, but I do. So.
But if I say anything to him, he gets very defensive about anything.
You know why, Rita? Because when she talks to me, I'm thinking about something else at the time. And I can't do 2 things at the same time. So when I'm thinking about like work or something else, and then she's talking, what that means is I have to stop what I'm doing, then I have to rearrange my brain to listen to her. And a lot of times what I'm doing is like stuff for work, or, when I'm really deep in thought and she's talking, I'm like, I'm frustrated because now I'm trying to figure out how to, because I can't just do it automatically. I can't do it. I literally have to say, okay, I have to stop doing this, turn around, look at her, and then consciously listen to her. Because if I don't do that, I'll just look at her like dead eyes and then let her talk and then just go right back to what I'm doing. Like I didn't hear nothing.
You know what? But you literally just said what the fix was. Like you have to consciously make the effort to turn off the other side of you and be present and listen to what Natalie is saying to you. And then that's going to eliminate your frustration and it's going to give her the attention that she needs at that current moment. You just literally said what the fix was.
Damn it.
Instead of getting defensive and saying and acting all extra when you speak.
Yeah.
Over the littlest things.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm good. But go ahead, Rita, because you're talking about.
So when she gives you feedback, do you think that Natalie is giving you that feedback in order to hurt your feelings, or do you think she's giving it to you
yes.
for you to better yourself?
I'm gonna say yes to both of those because both of those have happened. So
okay.
Rita, I'm telling you, man, Natalie's a nice person, but she can be cold, man.
I can be demanding
because I told her
we all have things. We all have things.
Yes. Oh yes, yeah. You know, and I look at her, I'm like, you don't understand what you do sometimes to me. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I got issues, but sometimes I like point it out there and she's like, I don't do that. I'm like, I was like, you can't keep bringing up things like, for instance, we'll get in a little argument, nothing crazy. And I'm like, Natalie, you got to stop reminding me about what bad things I did in the past because that doesn't help me as well. She does it all the time and she knows I'm right. That's why she ain't saying nothing. And I tell her, I'm like, Natalie, I was like, I know I've done this, but when we argue, you can't keep bringing up, well, you're always going to be like that. That's you. That's what she does to me. Like, this has been going on for years. And I think it's because I hurt her in the past. But I told her, I was like,
she's clearly has some unresolved.
Yeah, of course she has.
But I told her, it comes up and she vomits on you.
Yes. And I told her, I'm like, I understand why she's doing it. But I told her, I was like, I'm trying. I'm not, I'm definitely not perfect.
Well, you keep repeating the same thing. You keep doing the same thing.
But I'm trying to change. It takes change doesn't occur in a short period of time. Sometimes change occurs over a lifetime before a person, evolves into some, because the person we are now, because the person we are now in our 40s, we weren't these people in our 30s and our 20s. So every year that goes by, we slowly, change into different people. So I keep telling her, I'm like, it's not going to happen overnight, woman. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to to move on to something else in my life of what I should be. It just takes time. I keep messing up and I make small mistakes along the way, but I think I'm getting there. It's a very slow process.
Right. Natalie, do you see the process? Do you see progress happening on Ian's side?
Sure.
Did you hear that, sure, Rita? Did you hear how she answered that? Sure.
It wasn't full of confidence, but I did hear it.
Sure, I'm gonna let you get away with that one, Ian.
No, yes, Ian's had progression and change, as we both have. So yes.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I asked that was not to put you on the spot, was just to see that Ian's perspective is that he's making progress. I just wonder if Natalie's perspective is the same, because sometimes, we're not on the same page. We're not looking at things from the same vantage point. So that's why there's a misstep. And that's oftentimes why husband and wives argue, is because you're not on the same page. And when you don't see from the same point of view, you're going to constantly bicker because just that, you're not on the same page.
Yes. He sees me as attacking him if I say anything to him. And I see me as voicing an opinion or telling him about something that he's done that's driving me really crazy. That's how I see it, but he sees it as attack. And
that's how he's receiving it, right? And the way that you intend it isn't always the way that people perceive it, and perception is reality. So if what you're saying or how you're saying it is coming across to an offensive way to Ian, maybe there's another way that you can convey your message without him receiving it that way. You just have to figure out what that method is, and it goes both ways.
I'm going to write it down. I realize I have to start writing it down. When I talk to him, it doesn't register. Then I get frustrated when he doesn't do what I've given explicit. I've made it easy for you, and because you don't listen, you made it hard, which then affects everybody.
It doesn't affect everybody. It makes it hard on me, not her. She just mostly knows I don't listen to her. That's what it comes down.
We're kind of off topic.
Go ahead. I already know what you're gonna say. Go say it.
What?
Say what you're going to say.
Give her my story.
Tell her about
my most recent story.
Yes. Go tell her. I already know what this is about.
We're off topic, but anyway, I'm going to give you.
Let's go. Tell everybody.
It's organic. Let's just go with the flow.
Go ahead.
So we have a lady who started cooking food for us, right?
Yes.
I get the groceries or whatever, and she cooks the meals for us for the week because I just don't have time to cook anymore. And I had to come to that conclusion. In order
That's
for us to be
awesome. Yeah.
Healthy. So I ordered all the food on Amazon, and I had some things here like spices and stuff that I had in a box and some stuff. And then I ordered food on Amazon to be picked up. And I told Ian, I said, I ordered the food, you know, you do the pickup where you can just order it ahead of time and then you just pick it up. I said, go pick up the food at Amazon and take it to her house. Well, Ian takes it upon himself because I had some things that were here at our house to go as well. He drives to her house first. Then he goes all the way to Whole Foods to pick up the food. And now this is like, I told him on his work, it's like on his lunch hour. And I knew it wouldn't take long because she only lives like 10
I still got it done within the
hold
lunch
on.
hour.
No, you didn't.
I did.
But hold on, let me finish.
You just can't tell time.
So she lives about 10 minutes from us, and then she's about 20 minutes from Whole Foods. And the food was already ready at Whole Foods. It may take you 5 minutes for them to bring the food out, and that's it. So he went to her house, then drove from our house from our house to her house, 20 minutes. Then from her house to Whole Foods, 20 minutes. Then from Whole Foods back to her house.
I have to make a confession.
And Rita, I never told him nothing is supposed to go to Whole Foods. I said, to the lady's house. I said, everything goes to her house, everything. Nothing comes to our house. He comes back home and he's like, oh, were these supposed to also go to her house? I said, I told
she
you.
She never used those items, by the way.
I told you everything.
They weren't open. I'm just telling you, I looked at the bag. Not one was open in the bag.
No, there was one of the couple things that went in that bag that had to go to her house. I know what I sent to her house. She may have had extra, but she had things. Anyway, what I put in the grocery list was everything that was.
You hear her tone? This is what I have to deal with on a constant basis.
Rita, there's no.
Now.
Well, hold on.
You're not done yet? Come on, man.
So Rita, now, I'm gonna repeat my story one more because you keep interrupting me. I let you talk. So I had to go to. You there, Rita?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So he went to her house, to Whole Foods, back to her house, back to our house, and then back to her house with the last bag, which I never told him to bring anything home. Now,
okay.
Yes, I was frustrated because I'm like, you just wasted all your time. And he was gone longer. He doesn't realize it, but he was gone longer than his lunchtime at the time because
was not gone barely an hour yesterday.
He may think he was.
Natalie, if I may, why did it bother you that Ian wasted his time? Why did that bother you?
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell her yesterday. I'm like, why do you care? I got everything done, Rita. It just wasn't in the order that she wanted. That's what I was trying to tell her. I'm like, it doesn't matter what I said. I understand that I didn't. But it's my time. If I want to go,
Rita,
she can't handle it, Rita. She can't
like
do it.
When if he's not doing his work that he needs to get done, right? That affects me because I'm dependent on him. Well, I'm not dependent, but he brings an income, right? So if he's not doing his job the way he's supposed to do his job, to me, I'm like, hey man, you're putting us at risk.
I'm not putting anybody at risk, Rita. I have the opportunity to work from home as long as I take care of my job, which I do every day.
I just like to plug that. I do take care of my job.
Every day I take care of my job. I'm a brand new employee to this company, so I take care of my job every day. I told her, I'm like, I'm not taking anybody's money. I'm working on the laptop. I'm answering emails.
And he's new. So that's why I was like, you don't want to be looking any kind of way when you're new somewhere. That's all I was like. I was just concerned. That's all. But yes, I know it's his time and it shouldn't bother me. But part of it is if why can't he ever just follow the directions that I ask him to with certain things? Like why you have to
Now that's an interesting statement, Natalie, in the sense that why can't he always follow, or why can't he follow the directions that I give him? So is there a level of control because you can't control Ian that it's triggering something in you? Because essentially, right? Like if you know the saying, if I want something done right, I got to do it myself. But
that's my life.
But you don't have the time to do it all. So you've delegated this to Ian. So is it okay that he just does it how Ian sees fit?
It should be okay.
It's not
okay.
Should
be.
It should be, but it wasn't. It wasn't at the time, but it should be.
At the time.
Okay. She can't relinquish control, Rita. She can't do it. I'm telling you, Rita.
I hate
it's always contentious in this house because
the inefficiency. So I'm like, why you just wasted so much gas and time?
How is it inefficient? I said it's just that you just want it your way. Just admit it. Admit it.
You went to her house 3 times.
I don't care.
You could have went there once.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so yes, I think that obviously you guys disagree. You agree to disagree on this topic. But
I like Rita. She's like, you guys agree to disagree.
you agree to disagree, and that is
Voice of reason.
completely okay. Natalie is very big on efficiencies, right? Obviously, it has to do with her job, it's her personality. You said she's a strong woman, right? So when you signed up to marry this woman and spend a life with this woman, you knew the type of woman that you were.
No. I thought,
am I wrong?
Rita, we had this conversation plenty of times, and I thought I knew, but I didn't know. I didn't know, Rita. I didn't know.
Isn't that true life Hollywood story? Like,
yes, it is, Rita. I didn't know. We had this conversation recently. We both were like, you know what? Maybe we could have waited a little bit longer before getting married. I mean, we're both.
That's a whole different conversation.
No, it's not a bad conversation. We just realized that we probably should have taken a little bit more time to probably date, or maybe even not date, and to find other people before we met each other. Because I mean, we realize that now we're not going to get divorced, but we can actually say that, like, we probably shouldn't have got married because we are not right for each other, 100%. But we each other. No, but Rita, the truth is, I think most couples don't come the realization that they're not right for each other. They won't admit it. So they just stay in a marriage and they just struggle through it without telling each other how they feel. Me and Natalie tell each other how we feel all the time. Hold on. Who's calling me? Samuel's calling me on my phone.
I was gonna say you're flipped. Your image is flipped. Okay.
Rita, our son keeps calling us on our phone, and it's making my phone.
Oh my gosh, he did this last time.
Hold on.
Why does he do this? Tell him to stop calling us. Turn off my notifications. Sorry, Rita. He does this.
It's okay.
He discovered Kid Messenger, and now he just messages us. And if you don't answer, he just keeps calling you.
Keeps going, yeah.
Yeah, he just keeps calling you on the messenger, and the alert, it rings like a call every time. So let me see. I thought I turned off my phone ringer, but I didn't turn off that. Oh God, this child is. These children drive me crazy sometimes.
What?
Drive me crazy. Sounds.
Found it.
Oh goodness.
This is gold. This is the family nest gold.
Rita, our kids are killing us, Rita. This punk ass boy purposely, listen to it. He purposely dialed in on purpose to mess up he
does it. Yes, he does. Yes, stuff like that.
Rita, we have to spend more time with our kids. This is what happens when we don't.
And this is part of actually this will segue back into what we're supposed to be talking about, is the negativity. Yes. Ian's, I'm not trying to call Ian out, because I have the same reaction at times, but you see his reaction to the kids.
I didn't do anything. I didn't yell.
How quickly he gets so upset. And I think that spread like wildfire in our house. Like, there's just negativity everywhere. My kids are so negative. Ian's negative. I'm negative. I try not to be. I'm the voice of reason around here mostly.
What?
And I try to get Ian to calm down.
You're not the.
I am. I'm always trying to tell you, Ian, think about it like this. I do tell you, and you're like, I don't care. They're getting on my nerves. I'm mad. I don't care. And that's what he does. And I try to be like, hey, you know what? Let's not argue. Let's not yell at them right now. Let's try to be calm with them. And I don't care about that. Right now, I feel this way, and I'm gonna. And this is what he does. And then the negativity. I mean, I even had to order some spray from this lady that has positive energy spray.
Positive energy spray. Oh, I like it.
Oh, yes. She prays over it, whatever. And she had this, and just to try to, and I was spraying my kids for a while because there was so much negativity.
In the face. Take it.
This is essential oils. You can, with water.
Like
you can spray it
like a vampire with garlic water.
I mean, I don't know the validity of it, but I mean, if it's a placebo and you think it's working, then, that's the important.
And I haven't sprayed it in a while, but when I was spraying it, I think it was giving off a little better vibes around here. But the kids are so negative, and I know that they get it from us. And so, that's partly why I had spoken to you about being more positive or changing my mindset, because it's not that I want to be negative. It's just that things happen, and then I just get annoyed. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired of this. Like, life just keeps coming, and all the, why can't these kids just be nice for like one day? Why can't they not do this and get us mad and everybody's upset? Or why are they mad that I turned off the TV and they're all stomping? And, it's just so much negativity and anger sometimes around here that I just like, oh God. So
Right.
yes, I have the spray. I've used it. And it was helpful,
Right.
but I think sometimes, you know, Ian as the head of the household, his reactions, you know, affect everybody.
Set the
Rita,
tone. Is that what
these
you're
kids
saying?
Yeah.
don't, you know, I grew up in a household, and I'm not going to blame my upbringing, but my household wasn't the greatest. You know, it
I'm not
wasn't.
going to blame my upbringing, but I'm going to blame my upbringing.
Hell yeah. Listen, it was negative because my parents struggled a lot when they were growing up. They were poor. We were
Yeah.
poor growing up, very poor.
Right.
So they struggled a lot. So they weren't happy at
Right.
all. They weren't happy at all. So, I mean, they did the best they could
Of
for,
course.
you know, island parents. I guess we're the
Mhm.
second generation. So they moved here, didn't have a lot when they moved to this country. So they just did what they could, and
Right.
they worked a lot. They worked a lot, you know, but
Right.
what,
Parents work a
That
lot.
ends me. Sure.
yeah, but what happens is when they're working, they also forgot to give love, because I don't think they're thinking about giving kids hugs when they're working to
Latchkey
pay the
kids.
bills. They're
Right.
not. They don't. So we didn't grow up in a household with a lot of hugs and kisses at all. It was like very cold in our house. I mean, it was tough. So as me and my sister, we grew up to be adults, but we were still kids in a way. I am. I'm still actually that 12-year-old boy. I think I did a survey once. They said, "Well, what are you?" And I put, "Well, I'm still that 12-year-old boy that's looking for hugs from his parents still, as a
Oh
44-year-old
my.
boy." Oh yeah, I am. I'm telling you
That's why he wanted a dog.
that's why.
He wanted
You
someone
know-
to love him.
you
That's
know,
why my
very
friend's dad
true.
passed. When my friend's dad passed away, I think I lost a part of my soul that I
Mhm.
could never recover from. I mean, you know, I'm still an adult and I still move on with life. It's just tough at times. So I'm trying to deal with those. I probably need to talk to a counselor.
No comment.
You know that
And,
that's the thing. When things are difficult to talk about, that means you need to talk about them. And so you just already identifying that, you know, you are still that 12-year-old little boy who's just looking for love and looking for affection. A lot of times, like, that's all of us, because when something bad or negative or hurtful happens, that inner child comes to the surface and we react as if we were still that unloved, or, you know, or seeking love, you know, that we need it, because there's a deficiency. There's clearly a deficiency in your childhood, because you're so self-aware that you're able to identify that. Now, if you want to heal and grow and be better from that, what are you doing to heal that inner child? So you just have to make those conscious efforts and take those steps. But I commend you for being honest with yourself about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people won't be honest about how they feel, because I get angry, but I'm less angry, but I'm more hurt. I mean, right?
I can't speak for you.
I mean, I get angry at the kids, but I think I'm more hurt when they don't listen to me. I'm not, they're kids, man. They just, you know, they're kids.
Well, that's the question, right?
Negative,
Why does it anger you? Right. And so kind of going back to Natalie's point, right? A lot of what comes out of you is negativity or perceived negativity in the household, right? The question is, when you look at everything that's going on, Natalie, you said a couple of things like, why can't these kids just listen for a day? Why can't they do their chores? Why can't they do, you know, all of these things that they're not doing? We're focusing on the negative. Are there any positive things that the kids have done for the day? Did they go to school successfully? Did they, you know, are they?
No.
They ate breakfast. And, no, here's something positive. They ate
What's
breakfast.
something positive?
They were able to get up and eat breakfast and turn on the video game. That's it. But they take
Nothing else. They did nothing else positive for the day.
Nothing.
See, this is part of the problem. Is trying to
This
find
is-
the positive stuff.
Yes,
I think we've created two little monsters here. I mean, but it's not really their fault. It's not their fault that they're going through this. I mean,
We're lacking.
Yeah.
So we gotta pick up, you know.
Exactly. And I commend you guys as parents for identifying that, because essentially what you're doing, what parents are doing, and they don't even realize, and I wish I would have realized this earlier with my daughter, with my first child, but we're essentially pre-programming them. We're teaching them how to react, and we're giving them their inner voice. So when dad freaks out at them or mom freaks out at them and says these things, that inner voice is going to lead into their adulthood. So if they make a mistake, they're going to hear, oh, why did you do that? You never do anything right. Why can't you just listen? They're going to hear that because you've programmed that into their default setting.
Yeah, because
So-
I was like that. Yeah, because
You were like that?
I think I've talked about it in the past where I used to, like, if I got mad, I would curse at Ian. Like, this is way back in college days. But and it was because my mom, I don't normally curse, but my mom, when I was a kid, when she would get really, really mad at my dad, she'd cuss him out.
Yeah.
And so I automatically went to that, and I had no idea. Like, I don't normally curse on a daily basis. Like, that's just not in my vocabulary, except for the word damn. I do say damn. But other than damn, I don't say anything else. But I had cursed Ian out a couple of times, and he was like, why do you talk to me like that?
What is this? Right.
Yeah, he's like, it hurts my feelings, and I had to stop. But and I knew where it came from my mom, because it's not a natural thing, but it would just come out. It wasn't anything that I planned to say.
How did you change? Because you don't really talk like that now. So how did that change for you?
I just made a conscious effort, because I knew how much it hurt his feelings and how bad it made him feel, that I just made a conscious effort not to do it.
Yes. And that right there is the key. All you guys have to do is make a conscious effort daily to not be so negative and focus on the negative. This isn't going to happen overnight, right? It's taken us 40 somewhat years to get to the person you are now. It's not changing, isn't going to happen instantaneously. So due to neuroplasticity and neuroscience, that tells us that we can actually reform brain waves, these neural pathways in our brains, to think differently, but with conscious and intentional effort and action. So when we talked about the kids always focusing on the negative, you have to sit in gratitude and remove yourself from negative situations. So like, it was really hard for you guys to come up with more than 2 things that the kids did well. What'd you say? They brushed their teeth, or they ate breakfast, and they
turn on the video game
and check. Okay, but if that's all we got, that's all we got. Okay, so let's focus on the good things and just sit in that for a while. I think you've heard me say before. I think the first time I was on, I was telling you guys, we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, right? And 95% of those thoughts are in repeat mode. So that means if you're focusing solely on negative occurrences, negative speak, negative influences, that's going to stay perpetuating in your mind. And so when we were talking earlier, and it was like, why is this such a bad thing? It becomes a bad thing when you feel unmotivated, when you feel anxious all the time, where you're just focusing on the negative and you feel stuck. You're ultimately in a funk and you don't know why. You don't know how to get out of it. You don't know what's wrong. It's because there's too much negativity clouding your brain and clouding your judgment. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, for sure. I had that yesterday.
Okay.
I thought of one thing, and it just actually almost sent my body into like an anxiety attack of some type. Like, I was just feeling sick, and I was running things in my mind. Yeah. And then I had to finally like let it go and say like, okay, I try to like know what you've told me is to reframe and try to find the positive. So
do you want to talk about that in more detail? Do you want
to? No, not really.
Okay. You should. Okay. You should, because I had to sit there and deal with it yesterday. Go ahead and tell them what happened.
Okay, so if I could just Ian.
Yes.
Ian. Okay, yes. I was like, you're not looking at me.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So Ian, so it was interesting what you said just now. You said you should tell them because I had to deal with it yesterday. I have no idea. So what's another way that you can say that? Because that comes across in a negative way. I had to deal with it versus I was there to support her yesterday.
Where was that support, Ian?
It wasn't there at all yesterday. It was not.
That's just an example of conscious language. And that's like a whole nother conversation where we choose to, say certain words, and we put words into our vernacular where it's not negative and it's not always focusing on things that are, pessimistic and things like that. Anytime you want to respond to Natalie, or Natalie, anytime you want to respond to Ian, a good exercise for you to do is to take a pause and reframe your default setting of what you want to say, and think of how you can say it in a more loving way, encouraging way, and supportive way.
Yes, I do try to do that. I'm trying to be much more conscious about the way I speak and the things.
That's great.
Yeah, because like the other day, my son, he actually usually, like if I tell him to clean his room, like the whole breakdown happens. He's yelling.
Yes.
The world's coming to it. The world's imploding on him because he has to clean up his room. And the other day, he actually cleaned his room. And he was actually, the whole day, he was cooperative, which was so weird. But
So
I
that's a
helped him with that.
positive.
Yes,
Yes.
that's why I'm saying that, because that's why I'm
Awesome.
making sure I say that as a positive thing. And so he actually cleaned up his whole room. I did help him, I think, because I helped him a little bit with it, that he
Mhm.
was more receptive to doing it because he got help. He
Oh,
wasn't just
yeah.
him by
No,
himself. But he spent the whole day. I mean,
it was
he
weird.
cleaned up the whole day, and everything I asked him to do, he said okay, and he just did it, not yelling and carrying on, and the whole, oh God, it's
Why
so
do
it's
you
too
think?
much sometimes.
Why do you
I
think you
think
got
it's
such
just time.
a positive outcome?
It's just the time you spend with the kids.
Maybe because I helped him. I think it's because I helped
Mm.
him clean up the room some. I did a portion, and then I kind of gave him directions of how to do the rest. I think that's because I was just shocked that he actually would, not carry on about it. And I
But
I
that's
made sure I
great.
gave him extra praise. I'm like, oh, you should be very proud of yourself for
Oh,
doing all this without arguing, and we got it all done, and the room's all clean. I tried to do the extra emphasis of being proud of himself, and that I was proud of him for his behavior for that day. I did do that.
that's wonderful. And when you sit in that for, 5, 10, 15 minutes and sit in what they did well, that is how you're going to start to retrain your brain and build those new neural pathways I was referencing earlier. So that kind of leads us into the detox challenge. So with both of you admitting that there is a lot of negativity that surrounds you, it's in your household, it's with your kids, it would be great for the family to actually do this 7-day detox challenge where you're going to remove all negativity for the next 7 days. Are you guys up for the
7?
challenge?
Did you say 7 days? 7?
Consecutive days.
And we challenge everybody in our audience to
You
do
know
the
what?
same thing. So
Yes.
tell us about
I can
this
do
in
this.
detail. Rita, tell us in detail what we need to do so everyone else out there who's listening can know too.
Yes, I think
Change their life.
this would be great for anybody, especially if they've resonated with the negativity bias and they're in a funk and feeling anxious all the time and can't figure out why. I encourage them to do the detox challenge with you. And so essentially it's removing all negative stimulation, anything negative from your day to day. So that could be, I know a lot of us are on social media often. So if you see something on social media and it's negative, quickly change, get out of that frequency, and then offset that with something positive. Try for the next 7 days to listen to a positive podcast, audiobook. Go on YouTube. There's a ton of inspirational, motivational videos on there. Read a positive book. Constantly surround yourself with those positive quotes, those memes you see everywhere. If and when you're talking to family members, loved ones, anyone, coworkers, and they say something negative, immediately reframe and try to find a positive and change the subject and remove yourself from the situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So that means no gossiping for like the next week.
No gossiping. No gossiping.
That's Natalie's world.
I know.
No, because what's the benefit of gossiping? So what's the benefit? So let me tell you, it's like a drug. Let me tell you, that negative stimuli that happens, that triggers in your brain, there's all of this activity. As soon as something negative happens, you want to talk about it, right? And then
not
you
always negative gossip, though. I will say it's not always negative gossip.
Okay. But if it is negative, then there's a back and forth exchange that happens.
It's more situational gossip. It's not negative. I don't talk about people. It's the situation. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So if it's not negative, so what we're refraining from is not gossip per se, but it is anything that can be construed as negative. So anything that is not going to return any positive outlooks, encouragement, support, then you want to remove that for the next 7 days.
You hear that, Ian?
I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it? You're up for it?
I'm going to do it.
So you have to be basically pumping in good vibes into your children. And
I'm going to do it. And if I feel negative, I'll just leave the room.
But if you say something negative, then you have to all afterwards say, like if I say, Ian, you get on my nerves. You have to say like, Ian, I like when you're around. You have to reframe that. So if you say something negative, you got to then at the end, you can't leave it as negative. You have to change it to positive.
Okay. I can do this because it's almost like an engineering process. So I can do this.
So like when the kids, why don't you kids ever wash these dishes? Thanks for I appreciate when you do wash the dishes, even though you didn't wash them today.
You don't have to say that last part. See, that's what she's talking about.
Rita,
don't say that last
you
part.
didn't wash them today?
You got to reframe how you say that.
Well, something like that.
I know, but Natalie, that's really good. Those are really great examples of how
Ian.
this is wonderful. So then you can essentially help to reframe, because it's not something that's easily done, right? So if Ian does say something and he steps out of, the positive vibes and he says something a little negative, then, of course you want to be conscientious of the way that you speak to him to help him to reframe it. And Ian, if you're finding that it is difficult, like you said, remove yourself from the situation, take a pause, go for a walk, stand outside, just take a minute to refocus, regroup, and then respond in, remember, a supportive, encouraging, or loving way.
I like that. I think I can do this.
Yeah, I know for our kids, like I've had my kids when like my other son will tell his brother he sucks or he's stupid or something, and I'll tell him no, and I'll make him try to come up with 3 positive things. My God,
Yes.
he sits there forever. They can't ever come up with anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I told Ian, I'm like, this is bad. The fact that they can't come up with something positive about their sibling, and it's
Right.
so hard, and it's like pulling teeth. Then I said, that's the example that we've set, and that's the problem we have created, and that's why
Right.
now I'm like, we got to fix this because it's not good.
And it's totally,
our kids are good kids, but they just have these bad tendencies that we
Right.
fed into them.
well, it's totally fixable. And I love that you guys are willing to do the detox. You're making more of a conscious effort and you're aware of what's going on, because the first step to change is self-awareness. So once you realize that there's an issue, now you can take the steps that you need to course correct. So you should feel good about that. And try being complimentary to each other throughout the day. Try to say at least, 3 compliments, one morning, afternoon, and night. And let the kids hear you. Let them see you. And eventually over time, they will begin to adapt and pick up the same behaviors, right? You are a product of your environment.
You hear that, Ian? I hear it. You hear it too? We are a product of our
Yes.
environment. We have to create the right environment to get the right product, which is our children, out into the world.
Exactly. You're raising adults here, little men. So
Yep.
there's one more thing that I wanted to mention to you guys about the negativity detox and just negativity bias on a whole. When you're having conversations with anybody, try in the back of your mind always to think, how am I leaving? How is this person going to feel after we leave this conversation? Are they going to be better for it? Are they going to be worse for it? Or is it neutral? It's just something to keep in mind, because as you are raising young adults here, right, you want to make sure that they feel positive and they feel loved after every single conversation. Because when they don't feel loved, then you grow up to be a man who still has his 12-year-old boy inside that surfaces when they feel
That's me.
unloved. That would be you. I totally was referencing you. You see what I did there? You see what I did
That's
there?
me.
That way too. So consider how you speak to each other, because that you internalize that. It is our words are so important. It's the way we say it, not so much what we say.
Okay.
All right, guys. So
We're gonna close with Rita. Rita, that's your closing words for us today?
Oh, yes. I believe that will be my closing words. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. And then also, as a reminder to your audience, remember, there are up to 80,000 thoughts a day. So please be conscientious of what you're putting into your mind, into your body. When you go on a detox and you go on a diet, it's not just about what you eat, it's about what you feed yourself. So if you're constantly feeding yourself negative articles, resources, negative speak, it's obvious why you're in a negative state. If you want to be positive, you feed yourself positivity. So I encourage you all to do that and journal this experience. Let us know what you're thinking, why certain things are hard, what challenges you've encountered. And I'm really interested to see from today how you feel, and in 7 days how you feel, if there's any change whatsoever.
So you're saying we should journal for the next 7 days, our experiences? Oh,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And
whatever's in here, put it on paper.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing Rita's told me to do that I've started doing is the gratitude in the morning. I say 3 things that I'm thankful for, and one of those 3 things has to be about myself. So it's just just reframing all of my thoughts. And I am off of Facebook. I did log out. I was reading some articles. Rita, like you're in my head these days.
Rita,
I was reading
she lives on Facebook and it affects her so much. I just look at her, I'm like, okay, you're crazy.
Natalie, what were you saying?
No,
I'm in your head.
No, yes, you're in my head because I was reading this article and I was like, oh God, this is negative. I shouldn't be reading this. I was like, oh, so I said, you know what? Let me get off of Facebook for a little while. And I logged
great.
off on my phone and on my computer. So I actually went to it out of habit and I was logged off. I was like, oh, am I supposed to be on there? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I decided to get away from there. Now, next I got to block my Yahoo. I like to read articles on Yahoo, and I'm just going to use
Right.
my Flipbook. I think it's called Flipbook or whatever, that app, Flipboard or something, where I can
Okay.
go to a type of. So they have like a section that has mindfulness. I can pick
Oh, that's great.
types of articles, and it takes me right to those articles. And so I'll have to make that my new habit instead of Yahoo News, which I get on my daily gossip and all.
That is so great. And you should put the link, if you can, in the show notes to whatever app you just referenced, because that would be great if someone else is encountering the same thing and they just want to read about positivity and how we can put high energy back into the world. So you got to consume the positive. And I love that all of this, everything that you're doing, you're making great strides. You should feel very encouraged and motivated to keep going. So good job.
Well, you should as well for getting into my mind and messing it up.
Oh,
but
I want to be your inner voice.
I'm going to tell you one thing, Rita, before we go. Yesterday, I got so mad though that I said, "Man, bump all this mindfulness stuff. The world sucks." But I got mad. But I had to come back and say, okay, and find that positive. But I just want you to know, I did have a breakdown yesterday. I faltered. I went all the way down, but I'm good now.
And that's okay. And if you feel like you're going to falter or you feel like, man, screw this day or whatever, you take a moment, feel what you need to feel because you need to process that. And I highly encourage journaling. Like, why did I feel like this? Take a deep breath, refocus, and start again. That is all you're going to do. So anybody else there, give yourself some grace and then get back to it. Take a deep breath and begin again.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rita. Always a pleasure talking with you.
Likewise, guys.
This was a very good show.
Okay, Ian.
Well,
I feel like you say that at the end of every show.
He does.
I have to speak positivity in the air so it works both ways.
Last one thing, Rita, where can everybody find you?
Oh, yes. So I'm on social media. I'd love to connect. And then I'm also, my website is iwasthatgirl.com. So as you mentioned in the beginning, I am a personal development coach. And I really help women with their mindset, their image, and their confidence. I help them to amplify their mic. And that's what that stands for: mindset, image, and confidence. And I do that through personal development coaching for women and girls. So if you're interested in having a consultation or working with me, you can sign up for a discovery call, which you can find on my website, again, at iwasthatgirl.com.
All right, iwasthatgirl.com. And we know we've all been that girl. So yeah, definitely check out Rita if you need some help in that area.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rita.
Man, I feel.
Don't say it again, Ian.
I feel refreshed. This was a great podcast. Yes.
All right.
For all the listeners out there, please listen to our show on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and all the other streaming platforms. Our Facebook page, The Family Mess. Instagram, The Family Mess, @The Family Mess. Did I miss anything, Natalie?
I think we're good, Ian.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all, for listening.
Well, thank you, Rita, for coming on the show again. You've been a great guest.
You say that to everybody. All right, great. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great afternoon.
All right, take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. So are we done?